for a first game back after a long summer of rehab for you. How'd you feel out there?
Yeah, just good to get back into game action. So looking forward to getting going and maybe playing Friday and then getting off to Prague.
When you look at that, obviously not a ton of power play opportunity, but what did you kind of like about the mix that you guys had tonight?
Yeah, it was good. I think the only thing we didn't do was score, so I'd like to put one of those in. But good start for us, minus not scoring.
How are you feeling playing with Jesper and Timo right now? You feel like the chemistry's growing a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that was our first game in a while, so fun to play with those guys, and I'm sure as we go, we'll get even better. But just gotta sharpen up, probably on the defensive side, and then regarding the offensive side, that'll come as we go.
What were your first impressions of Seamus tonight and your first game with him?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched a lot of him over the years, so thought he had a great game. Moved the puck well, defended hard. He's a really good skater, so I was honestly surprised with how good he was tonight.
How valuable have the face-off reps been for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that's something I'm gonna have to work on as the year goes on.
Thank you, Jack. Getting in that first game, just how did that feel? We'll start with that.
Yeah, obviously getting back in action's a good thing. Got to start somewhere and work on it from there. So it was nice, obviously, to get out there, start playing the games, and obviously we would have liked a different result, but we'll be ready for Friday.
One of the things you said this morning is when you were practicing with Tats and Nico, it felt like Tats had never left, for a full year. Now that you're able to do you feel that chemistry once again just in that lineup or in the actual game?
Yeah, obviously there's things we want to work on and keep on building, but overall, just communication. We've been doing it the full time, talking on the bench about plays, what we could have did, maybe should have did if it worked out good. So it's really good to just have that comfort feeling when we're trying to build on. You want to use this time wisely and, just keep on taking steps forward.
Not a ton of power play time for that second unit, but you guys did have a nice look there when Tats and Pally and then over to Nathan. What type of dynamicism does someone like Nace have at the front of the net there?
Yeah, I think, obviously our game plan is we know when we get out there, we're not going to have too much time, so we want to make sure that we get in there and try to create a chance, as quickly as we can and try to recover the puck. And obviously you can see the play that we tried to make there and, over back forth, quick passes, and, he was right there ready for it to tap it. And obviously they made a good save on it, but the play was there and we executed on it, and that's the, focus point.
So is that really the mentality that you guys breed as a unit? Like, we probably won't have a ton of time. How do we make this the most? Because it was only, 15 seconds?
Yeah. It is things you got to go over. You never know. It might change game to game, and we just knew, obviously, going into it that, when we did get out there, we wanted to make the most of it. And, obviously, like you said, it was probably only 15 seconds there, and we got a great chance off it. So I think we did really well on that part.
Coach, I imagine you liked your start, but maybe not your finish, or at least halfway through.
Yeah, I liked our first few shifts. Not much after that, until the third period. We got our legs and got some life going from there, but a lot of not great hockey.
It seemed like maybe on a couple of goals there were some guys left uncovered, maybe at the top of the crease, or even the defense had maybe pitched too high. Is there maybe a miscommunication going on there with your defensemen?
Well, we had. Trying to think of the goals here. Yeah, the first goal we got running around a bit in our own zone. There, second goal, we had a complete mistake in our coverage in the neutral zone. So yeah, there's some miscues there for sure. But I think it was all a general product that we just didn't play hard enough. For good chunks of the game. When you don't play hard, you're going to have defensive breakdowns. It's as simple as that.
First game for the Jack line. What were your thoughts on the trio there?
Well, again, they didn't play hard enough, but their first game, Jack and Timo in particular, their first game, coming off of a difficult off season and surgery and all those kind of things. So they're just glad that they got through the game and they got their touches and all of that. They got better in the third period. They had, I thought their first couple of shifts they looked good, and then they were not great for a long stretch. But once they got on the power play, they really start going. The power play was exceptional. So I was thrilled that we finally got a power play first of all, and then seeing those guys moving around and seeing the group work together was really good to see. And then I thought they were real good the rest of the way. So it's a good building block for them.
And, you put Seamus Casey out there again tonight and looked like he played really well. Maybe a silver lining. What are you seeing from him that made you play him so late in the game and in a 6-on-5 situation?
Well, he's just getting better and better. We liked him in Buffalo in the rookie tournament, but it's a bit of a slow start in the camp, and I don't know if it's even a slow start from his perspective or our perspective, because we're just focused on so many other players and so many other things. But as a coach, especially a guy coming in trying to learn who everybody is and what they can do, you're just watching, and each day he's just getting better and better. So I wanted to play him again here tonight. With more of our NHL guys in, I think the skill sets match up really well. And I thought he showed enough positive things yesterday that he certainly earned an opportunity to play in the game here today. And despite it being back-to-back and travel and all the other things we might look at for some guys in a situation like this, he thrived. So I was thrilled with his game, and it was a no-brainer to put him out late.
Do you expect to play most of the NHL guys on Friday?
I do, yes. It'll be a close representation of the group we'll bring to Prague.
I'm just curious if a game like tonight kind of emphasizes how important Lazar, Bastian, and Cotter are going to be with bringing energy and things like that.
It's an excellent question, because I certainly felt as though we missed them here today. Those guys have been working so incredibly hard and really bringing up the level of the group. You look at the group that went to Montreal and played yesterday, and I know we lost that game and couldn't get a goal, but we worked and competed and gave up less defensively than we did here today. And those guys really were drivers of that. So that's a good sign for those players, not a good sign for the rest of our group, but we'll get that sorted out.
And do you think your depth defensemen are taking advantage of having the opportunities that they have with Pesce and Luke out? Like, what are you kind of thinking about them?
Well, we just talked about Casey as an example of a guy who's, this is his first go around here, and he's just getting better and better. And again, obviously I knew who he was coming in and know his abilities and what he's accomplished in college, but it's a whole different beast when you get out here. But as a coach, you're just watching and you're learning, and you are looking for guys to jump out at you and looking for guys to continue to make progress and improve. So he has done that. I look at Colton White. I think he's done a good job as well right from the beginning of camp. Obviously, Ataka was right there in the mix, and we still don't have the final diagnosis for him, but he's out of the mix at least temporarily here. But I thought Nissel came in and did a nice job here today. So yeah, I would say in those cases, those guys have done a good job, and there certainly is opportunity here. I guess I'd put even Kovacevic in that situation in terms of taking advantage of opportunity. He's paired with Siegenthaler from day one of camp, and like those guys, those are again two guys that we didn't have tonight, and their absence was certainly felt.
You pulled the goalie down too with a little under 5 minutes left. Is that something that's typically part of your repertoire? Yeah, I generally try to. If we're down 2, I'm something with a 4 on it. Generally is what I'm looking at, but it's really in a lot of cases dependent on what's happening in the game. What's the energy level of your top players at that time? We had a TV timeout right about that time, so everybody was completely fresh and could get set. So it just made sense. It's not always the case, but I'm generally comfortable down 2. We need more time to be able to get 2, so try to take advantage of that. And today in particular, I really just wanted to get the reps. I wanted to get the practice and see those guys in that situation. So I was happy it worked out. We got a goal, gave ourselves a chance. So the special team side here today, power play, 6-on-5. We ended up getting the reps that we needed in the third period, and I thought those guys that were out there did a tremendous job in that area of the game tonight. So that's what we'll pull away, other than to say that there's certainly a lot of areas we've got to clean up. And also, in general, how much stock do you put into the team's preseason record?
Well, the record, I mean, you don't put together lineups. don't put together lineups with the record or the result in mind. But when you're behind the bench and you're playing, like you compete and you wanna win. That said, the process and getting guys ready for the season physically is really what the preseason is about. So we've got one more go around here before we go to Prague, and we'll have a real good lineup in. Again, reflective of the group we'll bring to Prague, and we expect our process to be real good, and hope that the result is too. But the most important thing is to get our group feeling good, playing well, and ready to get out to Prague and hopefully be as healthy as possible. That's what the end goal is here. If we can pick up a win along the way, that would be great too. But certainly, it's not the focus in the preseason.